Sit back, relax, grab some snacks, or turn this on if you're on the treadmill or Stairmaster, because it's going to be a get ready with me, chit chat, and makeup tutorial. Hi guys, so I thought since we are all indoors, hopefully being smart and not hanging out or going anywhere, that I would film a makeup tutorial for you guys, since I've gotten quite a few questions on how I do my makeup. I'm not sure if this video will be too helpful, considering I do my makeup different all the time. But yeah, so I'm just going to be going through some products that I use, and then honestly just chit-chatting. There's a lot that we can talk about. So real quick, I prepped my skin, washed my face, and there's absolutely nothing on my face right now. And I just moisturize with the Supergoop moisturizer from Sephora. It's super hydrating, it has SPF, and I'm planning on taking a walk after this outside, so that's super good. And I do thread my face and shave as well, so I use these Tinker like shaver things. Love it. So super smooth, nothing on my face right now. So we're gonna start off with the MAC Strobe Cream. Also, I'm so sorry for my nails. I'm not saying sorry to you, I'm sorry to myself because I can't get them done because I don't want to go outside. But you know, it's fine. We are gonna roll with it. You know, maybe this might push me to actually get my own nails done and actually do them on my own. So I'm gonna use this MAC Strobe Cream. I like it because it's super hydrating, and I love a dewy look. I'm not really into the matte look on myself, at least. So I like to put a lot, and obviously down my neck.
And then just work it in. And make sure your hands are clean, like you've washed your hands. You know, that way when you touch your face, you're not putting any dirt or dust on it or anything like that.
So this is gonna give like that under, you know, skin glow, things like that. There's a bunch of makeup tutorials on YouTube that you guys are probably watching already, so I don't need to get into the details. Cool, so I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes just so that, you know, it gets a little bit tacky and a little, you know, it settles into my skin. And I'm gonna be using a few foundations. So this is what I'm talking about, like nothing's ever the same. I mix foundations, I mix lip colors, liners, I mix everything. I'll use like 3 mascaras. It really just depends on my mood. So today I will be using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 322 Warm Honey. Now this one's a little darker for me. I'm not as tan as I was when I bought this. So I'm going to be mixing it with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 7.5. Love this foundation. Most of my foundations are luminous. I rarely have any matte foundations. I mean, I have them. I rarely use them because I'm just not a matte kind of person. So how are you guys doing? I mean, it's been crazy. You know, everything's shutting down, which, you know, is good, but then there's obviously an adverse effect on that. Oh shit, I put way too much on my hand. This is the life of Psalms, where I'm spilling half my foundation. So it's been crazy, but you know, it's interesting. I posted on my story today on Instagram, which probably won't be the same day that I'm posting this on YouTube, but I was talking about how at least for me, I'm always complaining about not having enough time to, you know, do things that I want to do. And I'm always like complaining about that, which is, I know it's probably annoying if you're my friend and you hear me complain about it all the time. So I'm kind of looking at this as a blessing in disguise. I have been able to actually, you know, work on some home projects, which have been pretty cool. And I don't know, just like get my sleep schedule right. My sleep schedule is honestly pretty bomb, but the past couple of weeks I have not been that great with it. So happy that I'm working on that. So I'm just gonna take that on the back of my beauty blender. I love beauty blender.
It makes everything just like melt into your skin. And that's what we want, a melted skin look. Also, if I'm looking here, it's because I have a mirror set up here. I was hoping the sunlight would give you like a true show of what the makeup is looking like, but I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but it's fine. Because this isn't really a makeup tutorial. This is kind of like a get ready with me, let's chit chat and talk.
You know, Perfect. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, everything's been crazy. I'm working from home, which I obviously appreciate, and I think it's a must. And it's definitely a blessing because I know a lot of people don't have that privilege, my dad being one of them. He is a doctor, so he has been on the front line, as well as, you know, my friends who are in banking, like have to actually work at the banks, grocery store clerks, all of that. So definitely counting my blessings in that realm. I've been cleaning like a crazy woman. I realized that it's one of my favorite things to do, apparently, is to clean. And I've been going through like all my stuff from college. Like when I moved back home from college, I brought home so much junk, and I'm finally getting through it. Made like 6 bags for donation, as well as just trash bags of things that I literally like that are broken and don't work, as well as just giveaway things, you know, for my friends, things that they could use. It's been really good, actually. I like to go over my mouth for foundation. Just FYI, I did also put chapstick on my lips before. You need to keep those lips hydrated if you want a full-on hydrated look. So I'm using, if you're even curious, the SunBum Coconut 30 chapstick. It's good. Natural, you know. I don't really like to use things with chemicals and things like that. But anyway, yeah, it's been, I mean, it's only been a few days for me, but it's been time to reflect, have fun, chill, and just get that time that I wanted. Like, I have time to film, you know? I mean, for me, I don't have like fancy equipment, so I really depend on the sun to film.
Also, I blend like a lot. So if people ask you how your makeup is so flawless, it's all the blending, honey. You need to blend. You need to blend into the hairline, over the ears, below the chin, down the neck. That is just
a must. Okay, cool. I am like shedding all over the place. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to, and it's been a good time. I mean, it's saving me money. I'm not here spending money on gas or eating out or things like that, so that's good. As well as I'm able to, I don't know, just do things that I normally want to do, you know. So for my concealer, I'm using the Nars in the shade Ginger. So this is the concealer that I used when I was a little more tan. So in hindsight, I would have liked to have the custard shade, but it's fine. I don't really like a really bright under eye, to be honest. I'm not into the whole, you know, my under eye should be shining bright like a diamond. Not really into that look. I like my makeup to look melted, as skin-like as possible. I mean, obviously it looks like I have makeup on. I'm not going to put makeup and be like, oh, like I want to look like I have no makeup on. But I like to make it like melt into my skin. So I guess that means that the shade isn't too bad. I'm just highlighting.
I like to let my concealer sit sometimes. Today I'm in the mood to let it sit, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cream contour.
This is the NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer in the darkest shade. Again, I bought this when I was more tan. It's probably really dark, and a little goes a long way with this. Like, trust me, when I first put it on, oh no, it was not cute. It looked like I like literally just stuffed my face in like a pile of mud. It was not cute. So a little goes a long way. Watch me still put a lot more than I need. I think that's too much. And then just the circumference. I have a big forehead, and no shame in big foreheads, but I like to make it look a little smaller. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared of using this because I may or may not have scarred myself from the last time I used this because I went overboard and it just was not fun. So I'm going to take this dense brush by Real Techniques. I mean, I feel like everyone has used this brush before. It's kind of falling apart because it's so old, but I'm just going to buff that into my skin. See what I'm talking about? Oh no. Okay, so guys, this oh my god, I did exactly what I don't want to do. It's okay. The cool thing with makeup is it's literally art. And if something's too dark, you lighten it up with concealer or your foundation. And if it's too light, you darken it up with your contour. It'll look fine in the end, I promise. I actually quit my job early this year, like January 3rd was my last day at my old job. And yeah, I'm now working for a startup small business that's super cool. And that's kind of why I wanted to quit. I wanted to get, you know, some experience in the startup small business world, because I'd only ever worked for a big company before. So that's kind of why I quit. There were some other reasons too that we'll get into, but yeah, I mean, that was like the main thing, is I wanted to not be one of those people that work for a company for like 100 years. You know, I wanted to do my own thing. Plus down the road, God willing, I'll, you know, get into and start my own business. I do have, you know, the idea, and I am working on it in a way, but, you know, just to learn the do's and don'ts of small business mentality was kind of why I chose where I am right now.
And I love it. My boss is phenomenal. He's really not a boss, he's more of a leader, to be honest. He's just such a great person. He's definitely a hard ass. Like, he, you know, is super blunt. Like, everything is super, you know, specific, and he's really smart. He's very intelligent. But, okay, we're going to fix this situation. But, yeah, he's just, you know, it's just really nice working for someone that you can respect and, you know, is able to respect you back. I think that's a big deal.
So I worked for this company, and you know, it is a pretty large company, actually. It's one of the, you know, it was 33,000 people in the company, and it was my first like main internship, and, you know, fell in love with the culture and, you know, just basically how everything worked and how like my ideas were, you know, actually taken seriously, being like 19 or 20 at the time, or like 21. So that was pretty cool. And then obviously after my internship, I ended up getting full-time, which was, you know, super exciting. And yeah, so that's kind of where I kicked off my career. My background is in marketing. So that's kind of where that started. And yeah, I mean, it was a good time. You know, I was able to work on really great projects and stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my whole like college life, for the most part, I had an inkling that corporate America just wasn't for me. Not that I didn't want to try it out first. I mean, I did try it out, but, you know, I just had an inkling that it wasn't for me. There's so many things that I want to do with my life, you know, and obviously I want to work for these companies and learn from them, but not necessarily, you know, work my whole life there. So, with that being said, at the company that I worked at, it was really for that experience, you know, that I wanted, and it was really good for that, and I got that experience, and, you know, learned a lot, learned how to stand up for myself, learned how to lead projects, where majority of your team is, you know, 10 years older than you at least, and yeah, and just, you know, how to be taken seriously as, you know, a woman or a recent grad. So a lot of cool, like, life things that I was able to learn and pick up on, and, you know, it was a really great experience. I really am thankful for it. I am a true believer in everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I think that job was definitely for a reason. So, yeah, so worked there for about a little over 2.5 years, pushing 3 years actually. And I would say like 2 years in, 2 years, maybe a couple months in, is when I realized that this place wasn't for me. My time was coming to an end. I wasn't, you know, fulfilling my purpose anymore, wasn't feeling fulfilled. Not that every time you go to work you have to feel like, you know, amazing. I mean, there's gonna be hard days, but in general, overall, just wasn't feeling connected to it anymore. You know, there were some, you know, things that I just wasn't okay with just a lot of things that, you know, like you notice as like a new person in you know, the business, that you're like, this is just not fair for how they're treating certain people. And there was just a lot of things that I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a part of this anymore, which is fine. That's how life is, whether it's with, you know, your job or life. There's going to be things where you're like, this is not worth my time. this isn't the type of people I want to be around, whatever. And that's totally fine. So, you know, that's when I started applying like crazy. And yeah, I started applying to a bunch of places. And, you know, my goal was to, you know, basically work for a smaller company in an industry that, you know, I was somewhat passionate about, as well as, you know, wanted to learn about. And even though some of the jobs that I did want really, really badly, they needed like 5 years of experience. So I was like, okay, let me set myself up for success so I can get up to 5 years experience. Because I was here sitting at 2.5, applying for like lead market strategist for like Tarte Cosmetics or like Nars. Yeah, no, like I needed experience. So that's kind of where I landed at my job today, where I am learning hands-on, you know, what goes into, you know, being a small business, acquiring market share, and, you know, just the networking and build up of credibility and all of the stuff that, you know, I'm glad that I'm gonna be learning, and I am learning right now. Is that blended well? So yeah, so it's been a really great time. And when I gave my, you know, I gave a 4-week notice to my old job because I was leading projects and I didn't feel comfortable just giving them a 2-week notice. So I gave them a 4-week notice and had a little, you know, like going away thing with, you know, my coworkers at the time, and it was really fun. I actually really liked it. Everyone was super supportive. It was a good time. So yeah, anyway, that was just a quick tangent, but yeah, I'm really happy where I'm at now. It's just more my kind of leadership style. Will I stay here forever? No. Will I stay here for even 3 or 4 or 5 years? Probably not. But it's a great next step for me, so I'm really happy about that. And my new job has a gym in the basement, like it's like a free gym in the building, and really nice that I get to work out during lunch. I am drinking Yumi organic green gunpowder tea. I love it. I love green tea. It's like once you're on it, there's no going back. So I'm gonna set my under eye concealer with the Laura Mercier under eye powder. Actually, this is not the translucent powder, so there is a little bit of white pigmentation in it, so I don't recommend putting this all over your face. It'll make you look ghost-like. You'll also notice a lot of my products are travel size, and the reason being is I actually don't put makeup on that often. I probably wear makeup like once every couple weeks, so that ends up being like about 24 times in a year. So, you know, it doesn't make sense to get full, you know, size products because, one, I don't like using makeup for years. Like, makeup does expire. It's cheaper, it's more cost efficient, and it's just so much easier to like pack and have. Okay, cool. Set that. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matte+Poreless powder. So this is what I'm going to use for, you know, under my, you know, cheekbones and that reverse contour type of thing. I know it's not too light to reverse contour, but I'm not looking for like a sharp edge right now. So I'm just going to be setting it so that nothing is creasing. I am super excited to be on YouTube, regardless of, you know, how many people actually watch my videos or not. I watch my videos. And yeah, YouTube is just a platform that I've really always been into ever since high school. Like, I would watch YouTubers, influencers, you know, makeup artists, and everything you can think of, you know, and it's just always been one of my favorite platforms ever. It's just, yeah, I love it. I love it. And I love that like anyone can do it. Like, that's so cool. So I finally put, you know, my foot to the pedal and started doing it. So I don't really know I know what I want to do, but I don't have like, oh, I'm only going to do like talking videos or makeup videos. No, I'm going to do whatever I feel like doing, whatever comes to my mind. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, you know, I'm going to be posting hopefully an at-home workout video tomorrow, so that, you know, we can make sure that we're all holding ourselves accountable to taking care of our bodies and staying fit. So And just like getting to know, you know, people that have similar interests or different interests. I think it's just a really great space to be. And yeah, okay, so now I'm going to set my contour. I'm going to be using this palette that is actually kind of old. It's probably like 3-4 years old, so I should probably throw it away. It's the Tarte Pro Glow to Go. It's also travel size, and it comes with a bronzer, 2 highlights. So I love the bronzer on this. I need a fluffy brush, to be honest. I need to work on blending everything down. So yeah, if you see that like you might have gotten a little overboard, go back in with your beauty blender and yeah, go back in with your beauty blender, spray it. I use the NYX Dewy Finish, but I also like the MAC Fix Plus, and I'm probably going to do that right after, and just go over it. Blending is key. You can always fix, you know, whatever you think doesn't look to what you want it to look like. And I'm actually going to go in with the MAC Fix Plus. This is also travel size. How cute.
Also, I love how this smells. It smells so good. It just smells so like luxurious and yum. So yeah, this is great for like reblending and softening edges. That's like huge. For me, I don't like a harsh contour line. I really don't. So as you see, it kind of.
So I just basically finished up clearing out softening those edges. You know, a lot, because as I said, I don't like harsh edges. Sometimes, I mean, if I'm going to a wedding, sometimes I like it to be looking snatched, but other than that, no, like I like it to look all seamless and blended. Okay, so if you guys are looking forward to some eyeshadow, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not really an eyeshadow girl. In general, actually, I rarely put on eyeshadow, so I'm not going to today. I mean, I'm going to be using my contour shade and just kind of, you know, using that as my eyeshadow. I don't understand when eyeshadows come with this. Like, who uses that anymore? No, it's so pigmented. Like, blending, honey. Okay, so wow, that is... Wow, okay. Wow, I was not expecting so much product to come off. But okay, we're just gonna go on the outer corners. Really light hand. I'm like barely touching my eyes. And like just blending it into the crease. So this gives the illusion of, you know, more dimension into your eye. Makes them look bigger, deeper. You can already see the difference. Now, one thing I noticed that I used to even do, and I know a lot of people struggle with, is, you know, the amount of pressure that you put on your eye when you're doing eyeshadow. Like, you really don't, like, look. Like, literally, I'm going to tap it now that I know that there's a lot. It's really pigmented. Just tapping it. Have the product. And lightly, like I'm barely touching my eyes. Like there's barely any pressure. It's those little things that really add to the look. Now, what I like to do as well is contour. Contour just adds so much dimension and like to the look. So I'm actually going to take that same brush because I'm running out of brushes right now that are clean, and I'm going to go back in with my contour, my bronzer right here. Take a little bit of product right at the end. Okay, and you're going to actually create a shadow on the sides of your nose and the inner corners of your eyes, and just watch what it does. It's the little things that make makeup look so luxurious and so high-end. It's really the little things. So I'm starting from the edge of my eyebrow and bringing it just to the first 1/3 of my nose. Can you see? This is without it. This is with it. It's so light. It's the lightest difference, but it just makes your eyebrow and your eye like just kind of pop instead of so flat on your face. So this created a shadow. So that's going to bring a lot of dimension, the slightest amount of dimension to the face to just make everything look super deep and like nice and like just really playful. Contouring my nose, I do not do the whole line down because contour is not the same. If you have a more bulbous end like I do, that's kind of where I do my contour. The actual bridge of my nose is quite slim, so if I were to just put a line right down, it's going to disappear. So we don't want that. And it's going to make the end of my nose look even bigger. And again, it depends how you want your nose to look like. If you want it to be how it is, as I said, if you're putting dimension all over your face and you're not putting it in the center, it makes it look flat. So you want to bring all of that together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the middle, go right to the edge. And bring it right down the middle. Bring it right down the middle. And then I just use my finger. The warmth of your finger actually blends really well. You can believe me or not, but it really does. It's probably almost better than a brush sometimes, just the warmth of your finger, which is ironic because my hands are really cold right now. So don't know how much that worked. And then I'm going to take this, and we've kind of ignored the bottom part of the face here. So under the lip, so that your lip doesn't look flat on your face. It looks like it's pouted out a little. It's just the little things. And then I like to take my finger and put it right in my Cupid's bow. I know I said I didn't want to bake, and then I ended up baking my under eye. It's fine. So yeah, as we move along, I mean, I'm super big on, picking and choosing your battles. Like if you are, in a space where, you're working and it's a little challenging, I think that's fine. I don't think that that's something that we should, run away from. There's ways to deal with challenges, if you deem that it's worth it. But I think that like after a certain time, also this is wow. This is the Hourglass blush. I love Hourglass face products. They're actually amazing. And it's in the color Mood Exposure. And it's a travel size, super mini. But yeah, I think it's like super, just, we have to choose like when it's, when there's a situation that we can actually give to and like, influence it, versus when it's actually taking from us and making us lose our. And yes, I do take my blush all the way back. Sometimes it depends on my mood. Right now I'm in the mood. Our generation's just really big on self-respect and people respecting us as well as us respecting others, I think. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
I like to, in between, and I know I haven't been doing it, but like spray my face, because I think with so many powder products, it'll tend to look, just powdery and cakey, and we don't want that whatsoever.
Go back in with my Tarte Pro Glow and just take that highlight shade and put it right under my brow. Just like that. And just blend super light hand. Love it. How many of you guys love wearing makeup? I think it's so much fun. I don't wear it all the time though, but I feel like it just like makes me more productive. Like I'm kind of happy that I did it. It's kind of morning time right now, or early afternoon, because I feel like I'm gonna be so productive now. Like when you're just feeling good, Also a trick too with highlight, at least for me, I do not swipe it down my nose. Totally against it, for me at least. I think it just doesn't look good. It looks super, I don't know, just like artificial. So I like to bring my highlight right here where my nose and forehead kind of meet, the dip of my nose. I don't know what it's called. And just like work it and kind of feather it out into your forehead. Okay. And then I like to do it right here. Like spread it out a little bit at the tip, a little bit in the middle. Like I can't tell if you can see it. I don't think you can because I can't. So hopefully it turned out fine. And then in terms of cheek highlight, anyone that knows me, I'm not the biggest fan of it. So I just take a little bit, like literally just tapping it once.
And then just like going up into my temples. You know, like I'm really not a cheek highlight type of person. I don't think it looks good on me. Or it's not that it doesn't look good, I don't like it. I love how MAC Fix Plus smells.
I like sometimes a nice dark under eye. It just makes it look more sultry, and I'll show you what I mean. The slightest difference. It's a blessing, at least for me, because I've been wanting some time, you know, to myself and just to do things that literally require me being stationary and being on my laptop, aka recording, editing, paying bills, investing, learning about, you know, real estate, just things that I want to do that I typically do when I'm at the gym on my Stairmaster, which is only 20 minutes, and car ride home. But then I'm also on the phone on the car ride home from work half the time because I love talking and I like to talk to my friends and things like that. So this really is a blessing. It's a good time to, you know, start all that stuff. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, I'm kind of not feeling eyeliner, but I kind of am. When in doubt, put on eyeliner. All right, decision made.
We are going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner. Super, super black. I still have to try the Huda Beauty one, but as I said, I don't wear makeup too often to like buy all the stuff, but I do invest in like eye makeup for sure because I do like that. So I'm going to bring the mirror closer to me because everyone knows eyeliner needs to be snatched. So I'm not even going to do a tutorial on this right now. We'll do it later.
Pro. I'm not going to lie, one thing I'm really proud of when it comes to makeup is how easy it is for me to do eyeliner. And one thing I'm not proud about, which you'll see, is how bad I am at putting on eyelashes.
I love that like Arabian, Indian, like almond, big black eyes. That's like so my style. Even a lot of makeup artists that I like follow, it's like I love watching people that have a similar eye shape to me because it's easy to like follow what they're doing. Eyelashes are one of the things that I don't like putting on. If I can, I'll use my natural, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to just actually put them on. So I'm using, I don't actually know what lashes these are, but you can use any lashes. And then I'm using the Duo lash glue from, you know, your local CVS or Walgreens. And this is the Instant Dry, which I like because it gets tacky immediately and you don't need to wait for like 10-30 seconds like you would for the other one. So I'm gonna put my lashes on. I'm excited to film my workout video tomorrow. It's gonna be a full booty day, like legs. I might incorporate some, like I might make it a full body, but I feel like everyone has been asking, and like I even love watching like at home, you know, or like no gym, like leg days. And I think it's so fun to do, so I'm really excited to share that with you guys if you guys are interested. Where are your guys' favorite lashes? I love Lily, I love Huda. I love just the ones you get at CVS. The I can't think of it, the name, but it starts with an A. I was gonna say Annabelle, but that's not right. Looks good. Okay, see how like sultry they are? I love it. I love eyes. I think eyes are so fun to work on. All right, let's get into the mascara. So I love the Marc Jacobs mascara. It's one of my favorites, but as I said, like I use different ones, so it really depends. I have like a bunch of them.
I'm just gonna spray the back of the beauty blender, actually the sides because it's the clean side. I'm just gonna dab the beauty blender all over my face just to make sure everything is nice and blended together.
Ooh, that's what we like, honey. Okay, perfect. Now for lips, I'm super excited because I got the new KKW Beauty lip liner in the shade Nude 1. So this is Kim Kardashian's you know, lip line, which I've been wanting to try because I've heard a lot of great reviews about it. It's supposed to be super, you know, creamy, and we all know that lip liners are so dry, and that's why I always put like chapstick on my lips before. But I probably would still moisturize my lips before, but probably not as much now if it does end up being just as creamy. Look at that color. Oh, I love nudes and beiges. It's just so my style. All right, so let's try it out.
I'm actually done putting it on. I just keep going over because I'm so wowed at how creamy it is. Now, I'm going to put a gloss on top of it only because, and I might actually darken up the edges a little because I love, like, contouring lips and playing around. So, just the bottom like that. Just a cupid's bow like that.
I don't know if you can see it that well, but it is contoured. And then I'm going to top it off with a gloss. This is the Marc Jacobs Sugar Enamored gloss. This is the travel size. Most of my stuff is travel size. I'm going to put it right in the center. That looks good. That feels good. That feels so hydrating. Like, oh my god, that feels amazing. I love that. So I realized that I forgot 2 steps. I'm going to do it really quickly. The number 1 step is I like to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. It just makes everything look really, really good and, again, more luxurious. So just take a little bit and put it right there in the corner. Just a little bit. See the difference? The way that the light hits it, it just looks good. It brightens up the eye since everything's so dark with the liner and the lashes. So it just really brightens it up and makes it look good. So just like that, again, very little. Obviously, you can put as much as you want. And then I like to brush up my my eyebrows just to make sure that there's no powder in there. So this is the Anastasia Brow Gel. I don't actually know what it's called because the writing came off of it. But I just use to brush. I have really thick eyebrows, which is a good thing. But obviously, it could kind of get a little messy if you don't actually set them because my brow hairs are so long that if I don't set them, they'll droop or they'll fly away and they just do their own thing. So that's why I do that. And obviously at the end of everything, I am setting. And it feels so good to set. And if you want, I don't really want to right now, so I'm not going to do it, but you can take that same highlighter that you put in the inner corner, and actually I'll just do it just to show, and just put it in the high points of your lips. Super light like that. Looks really good. Perfect. Awesome. So this is the completed look. I was going to do my hair and come back, but I'm really not trying to put heat on my hair. That's just something I've been trying to do. I'm pretty good at it. I maybe straighten or curl my hair maybe like a couple times a year, so it's not like I put too much on it anyway. But this is the completed look. I hope that you're able to learn something from this video if you came for the makeup tutorial, or if not, then you got to learn about my job situation. So yeah, I love the look. The whole point of this look, and most of the time when I do my makeup, most of the time, sometimes I switch it up, is so that everything just blends together. There's no harsh lines. I don't like that harsh line look. I know some people do. That's totally fine. You don't really know where the highlight starts, where the blush starts, like nothing. There's no harsh lines. Everything's blended. Natural shadows from the contour. I don't even have eyeshadow on. I mean, I just put a little bit on the outer corners as you guys saw. The lip is super nude and super, you know, just cute and glossy. And hopefully I have nothing in my nose. And I bring it down, that way there's no like complexion change. Obviously here I'm a little lighter, but if I were to actually go out, I'd probably just like, actually let me just do it now. I'd probably just like put my foundation here just to make everything match, which voila, now it does. So yeah, yay, awesome, I'm happy. So I hope you guys liked the video. As I mentioned, tomorrow I will be shooting a workout video, and hopefully editing won't take too long. I do want to get that up for you guys as soon as possible. Again, you guys might not even watch it, but maybe one of you will. I think it's super important to stay active, stay healthy, you know, during this time of quarantine. I think it's such a blessing in so many ways, but of course that it also is a handicap in other ways as well. So yeah, just, you know, keep on the lookout, and I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have an even better week. Make sure that, you know, you text the friends that you love, the people that you love, sounds super cheesy. It sounds super cheesy, but I love when I get texts from my friends out of the blue. Like, it makes my day. So I'm sure that it would make, you know, someone in your life's day as well. So I hope you had a great time, and I will see you